I'm just going to leave them bare naked. That's the way I like my wood. Today on In the Wood Yard, we've got wood deliveries. Here we go. So today I've got two wood deliveries. The first one is going to well, they're both going to restaurants. The first one's going to a pizza restaurant, Two Face Chords. It's my usual place I go to about every 2 weeks. And then the other one is going to a restaurant called the Machine Shed. And I sell maybe 2 or 3 face cords a year there. They don't smoke that much. And when they do, the smoker they use, it's an actual oven, but then it's got a smoker chamber kind of off to the side, so they just use the wood for the smoke. They're not heating the oven up or cooking with the wood. It's just for the smoke purpose, so they don't go through very much. And both places, all they want is hardwood. They don't care what kind it is. They're not real particular as far as wanting cherry or oak or hickory or anything like that. So we're gonna throw this load in here. Now this pile kind of collapsed the other day. I was over here working and I heard a crash and this whole pile came down. But it's been stacked here now for, I don't know, 6-7 months, something like that, maybe longer. So I'm just gonna toss it in. This is for 2 face cords and we're gonna load it up and we're gonna go deliver it. Well, there it is, a little bit more in 2 face cords. And yeah, it was here. I took all the stuff that, collapsed from the pile and threw it in. So I got it off the ground except for that little bit, but I got another delivery to do right after this. So we'll get the stuff on the ground cleaned up. So we're gonna go pick up the wheelbarrow that's in the barn, and I got to pick up the wheelbarrow that's at my business because we're gonna use the wheelbarrows to wheel it in. I used to take just my wheelbarrow, my little hand cart, but the wheelbarrows work better. You can get more in them, it goes a little faster. So I'm gonna stop and go pick those up, and we're gonna head on down the road and go do the delivery. Well, I'm back from my first delivery to the pizza restaurant to Parm, and we got that all unloaded, and now I've got another restaurant that I need to deliver to. This is going to the Machine Shed. Like I said before, they don't buy a lot of wood. They might get 3 pickup truck loads full, so a full cord a year, something like that. Not too much. Because they don't cook with the meat, they just smoke. I mean, cook with the wood, they just smoke with it, because they've got a oven that they cook in that's a rotisserie, and I think it's propane powered or natural gas, however they burn with it. And they just have a box off to the side that they use the smoke out of, and they damper it way down so it burns real slow, so they don't go through that much. But one of the things I thought I'd talk about is regular restaurant customers are excellent to have. I haven't gone after any. I only have a few. I've got these 2, and then I got 2 other, well, I guess there's 3 other places, but they're not restaurants. They're people that do gigs, that do events, that have big smokers, and they each might buy a full cord a year. But they're really good regular customers. The pizza one, the Parm, is excellent. It's in Oshkosh. For those of you that want to stop in and get some pizza, it's really good pizza. They go through about 2 face cords or 2/3 of a cord every 3 weeks. It's pretty much a regular schedule. So in a year, that's going to add up to being a really good account. And you probably have heard Ohio Woodburner, talk about his accounts that he's got. He's got some really good ones where it's regular basis. They keep using wood year round, which is really nice to have. And I haven't really gone after it, but I certainly could. I could, obviously do some marketing to those companies that are in the area, and I know I could probably do really well, but I can't keep up the way it is with the amount of wood that I've got and getting it to customers. So that's just something to think about. If you're looking to grow, is to actually actively go after those people. You could send a letter, you could stop in, you could drop off some free samples, you could call on them, you could call them, you could stop in, leave your business card, whatever it is that you want to do to get the business. It wouldn't be that hard to pick up accounts, because I do know that a lot of firewood people in general aren't full-time, and they tend to let things kind of fall, or they run out of wood, that kind of thing. So I know there's places that you could get if that's something you're looking to do. I know I could if I had the time or wanted to. Maybe in a year or two I will do that. I'll try to build up the business a little bit more in some of those regular accounts. But right now, like I said, I can barely keep up with the way it is with my regular customers that I have, and the few restaurants I have, and then I keep getting more people all the time. So just something to think about. Okay, we're going to throw in this wood here. It's going to be a pickup truckload full, or a 1/3 of a cord, or a face cord, or a rick. You can call it whatever you want, but it's going to be a load of wood, and it's going in right now. And this is all just mixed hardwood. You saw me throw in the first load this morning. This is probably, if I had to guess, right now all I'm seeing is ash. There's some maple in here too, but this is mainly ash. So yeah, a little bit of ironwood too. Right here's a piece of ironwood. And for smoking, some people are really particular on the kind of wood, and then there's other guys that don't really care. They just don't want pine, and they'll just take whatever you give them. Here's a piece of hard maple. So yeah, there's a little bit of everything in here, but like I said, mostly ash. So we're just gonna fill it up and go deliver it. There we go. Another avalanche. So there it is. The wood is in, and there's a cat in there too. The wood is going to a restaurant, like I said. It's a face cord, 1/3 of a cord, rick, truckload. It's all of those. 1/3 of a, yeah, it's like I said, it's all those. And we're gonna go down the road and deliver this. And this is one where I stack it too, so I charge them a little extra for stacking. And that's one of those things too that you can make extra money on, the stacking. So just think about that. Now, this load that's going here, it got rained on yesterday. Well, everything got rained on, obviously, because it rained yesterday. We had rain all day yesterday. We got about, I think, 3/4 of an inch, somebody said. I'm not sure exactly. It might have been a little more, might have been a little less. But this wood is not covered, and it is dry. The very top of it this morning when I got here was wet. Down about 3 or 4 sticks into the pile. If you look here, I'll take you over here to this side where you can see. Well, this is already dry because the sun came out. But the wood inside is, once you get down to about right here in the stack, is dry. And I kind of ate into the pile. And for those of you that think you got to have your wood covered at all times, no, you really don't. Rain is not that bad for it. I mean, if you're going to sell it right away when it's raining out, yeah. But this stuff sat out in the rain all day yesterday. It's already dried off, and it's about 11:30 right now. So, and the sun just came out, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half ago, 2 hours ago at the most. So it's already dry. So you really don't have to worry about covering your wood. The one reason I cover it in the late fall is because of snow. And the reason I want to cover it because of snow is I don't want 2 feet of snow sitting on top of it and then having the snow gradually melt off and then melt down into the wood and turn it into a wood sickle, which is what happens. So in the late fall, I will be covering this because people have been asking me about my big bins that I have out here. I'll show you those. The big bins that I have, I will probably cover some of them, but a lot of it will be sold before we even get any kind of snow, because I sell a lot of wood starting in September already, and then October, and then November, and that's about when we start getting snow, December usually. So a lot of these piles that I have out here will be covered, and what I'll do is I'll just put a tarp over the top. You know, I've got how many tarps I have, I got a bunch of them, and I'll just go up and over the top. I'll leave the sides open, and I'll just put some wood chunks on top of it just to kind of keep the snow off of it. This is all the oak right here. This over here is mixed hardwood, and this one over here is mixed hardwood, and then this is pine. This one over here is maple on this end, and then oak down on that end. That one over there is mixed hardwood. This one right here is all hickory, and I got lots more hickory to put in there. So I'm just going to leave them bare naked. That's the way I like my wood. So we're going to keep it like that until we get to late fall, and then I'll throw some tarps over the top of them. We're going to go deliver some wood right now to the restaurant. So there's the wood in the truck. And this is where it goes on these racks right here. They're down to just those few sticks. Right here is their smoker, you can see. I got a little bit of fire in there. It's just a little box off to the side. So we're going to unload some wood. Wood in the rack, there it is, and that's done. It's getting hot fast. I'm starting to sweat. Now we're going to head back to the wood yard, and we're going to do some splitting of wood because I got some wood in Adam's trailer. It needs to get out of there, so that's what's going to happen next. Well, I'm back in the wood yard. I just filled up the Easton Made Ultra wood splitter, and I'm going to tip the trailer up so the wood comes to me. There's just this little bit to do, but I got to get it done because Adam needs this trailer. He's going to be doing some landscaping work at his house. I think he's got a big long list that his wife made, one of those. So I think he's got a bunch of work he's got to do with it. So I got to get this emptied out so he can use it. So we're going to start it up. We're going to make little pieces of wood. There it is. The wood is in the bin and the trailer's empty except for trash, which I'm gonna back up over by the trash pile and we're gonna toss this off and then that'll be it. So we're gonna go over there and do that, do the shove off. So there it is, the debris has been dumped. I'm going to answer a question that's been coming up quite a bit by people that watch the channel. Yes, I could pick through this and yes, I could get some nice kindling out of it, but it's not worth my time. Eventually we will pick through it and get some stuff out of here. I'll probably have Gavin do that. I'll get some bags or buckets or something. But it just doesn't pay. I don't have time to dig through this stuff. And yes, it would be nice for kindling for the boiler. Yes, we could throw it right in there, but it's not that time of year. So as this grows, we'll just shove it up and then maybe fluff it up and pick through it. Eventually we'll have them do that, but I don't have time for it. It's not worth my time. It just isn't. It's just the way it is. And everybody's like, oh, there's some good stuff in there. Well, yeah, if I was burning it for myself and I wasn't selling it, I would pick through it possibly and put it into bags if I had the time, but I don't. So that's the way it is. So that is it for the video today. Right now, you're gonna go watch another one because that's what you're good at. I'll be back here tomorrow, 5:30 a.m. Right now, it's kitten time. Good night, Irene.